Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Before Saints training camp started, Mickey Loomis acknowledged that the roster probably wasn't done yet. Give a listen.
There's probably a couple spots I don't want to identify them. There's a couple that I wouldn't mind, having another player that has played in the NFL, but nothing glaring that I'm losing sleep over.
Okay. Nothing glaring he's losing sleep over, but a couple of spots he'd like a player that's played in the NFL. Basically what he's telling me is he wants a veteran. Not a rookie, not a UDFA, someone who's played in the league that they know can strap it up on a Sunday and contribute. The most obvious position is linebacker. Demario Davis is a freak show, but he's in his mid-30s. Pete Werner has been a super productive player in his young career, but he's also battled injuries. Last week, when Demario Davis met with reporters, he was asked about the depth at linebacker. Here's what he said.
We got a good group of guys in the locker room. I know a lot of praise goes to me and Pete, but we got some other guys who've been here and put in a lot of work. Andrew Dye, who's been phenomenal, providing depth for a long time. I think he's entering his 5th season here. Zach Bond has been phenomenal. We got some young guys who haven't hit the field as much, but look very explosive and smart guys and definitely putting in the work. Nephi, D-Jack. So I think we're in good hands in that room.
Who am I to question the man of God? I love Demario Davis. He's the greatest free agent signing in Saints history. I love Demario Davis. Okay? But all he did there was just list guys that are his teammates. And losing Caden Ellis is really significant because he had emerged into being an awesome player. Obviously, I should say the greatest free agent signing outside of Drew Brees. Like, can we just acknowledge, Drew Brees is okay. And then people often say about Vilma, but Vilma was actually a trade, but there's a lot. You understand. I don't know that I need to clarify, but let's clarify just so I don't get emails. How could you say? You get it. Anyway. He mentioned Zach Bond. Zach Bond, it's fair to say, has been a disappointment. In large part because he just doesn't fit this defense, what they want him to do. But Zach Bond was asked if he felt like it's his time, finally, to emerge in this defense.
It is my time. It's been my time. It's time to go, and I got to step up to the challenge and do what I do.
Okay. I'm not betting that it's going to happen for Zach Bond. And when I mentioned Pete Werner, as a rookie, played in 15 games. Remember, they drafted Pete Werner. Quan was here. And I think that's kind of the big thing. Quan was here. Remember, in the COVID year, they traded for Quan Alexander. And Quan and Demario Davis had a great tandem. And then on Christmas Day against the Vikings, Quan ruptures his ACL, and he's out for the remainder of the season. Did a hell of a job getting himself ready for the start of 2021, but then injured his elbow and missed a bulk of that season. But that was Pete Werner's rookie year, and Werner ended up playing in 15 games with 8 starts, had 62 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and showed he was a really good player. It's one of the reasons they were willing to part ways with Alex Anzalone. They felt like they had bodies there. And then last year, Pete Werner played in 12 games with 11 starts. But again, the problem has been he hadn't been able to stay healthy for a full season. If he can, I'm fired up about it. I think he's a legit starter, the great 1-2 punch with Demario, but you have to ask the question if he can stay healthy. He hasn't shown he can do it. So if he can, great, but we got to see it. Remember where we started, where Mickey Loomis said he wants to add guys who have played in the NFL. And for me, I think there's an inside linebacker available that you have to go get, or you have to kick the tires and pick up that phone call. I'd be stunned right now, quite honestly, if he didn't. And that's Zach Cunningham. Zach Cunningham, if you remember, played at Vanderbilt, and he was a tackling machine, like leading the SEC in tackles. He was a second-round pick of the Houston Texans when he came out of Vanderbilt back in 2017. And he immediately exploded in the NFL. As a rookie, played all 16 games, had 90 tackles. His first 4 seasons in the league, here were Zach Cunningham's tackle totals his first 4 years in the NFL. He went 90, 107, 142, 164. Just kept on ascending to be one of the best linebackers in the NFL. And Houston ends up giving him a 4-year, $58 million contract. Total dude, tackling machine, defensive leader right in the middle. They give him a giant contract. They guaranteed him $23 million at signing. He got $32.5 guaranteed in the deal. And Houston was a complete and total dumpster fire. Who was the guy that coached them last year? What was that guy's name? Do you even help me out? What was the Texans coach? What was that guy's name? The old guy that was just a sacrificial lamb. It was, to tell you how bad it was, like, I don't even remember that dude's name. Please look it up. I totally forgot his name. But they bring in this dude that they know they're just going to coach for a year. They're going to tank. They're going to draft a quarterback. They were hoping to get one overall. Ultimately, they end up with C.J. Stroud. Well, Cunningham violated team rules, and they ended up cutting him, so they eat the $32 million they guaranteed him. He ends up signing with Tennessee for the remainder of the year last year, and now he's a free agent again and still unsigned. Who was it?
Lovie Smith.
No, not Lovie.
In 2022, and then it was D'Amico Ryans
No. The year before.
David Culley.
David Culley.
2021.
Culley's the one who suspended him. He was suspended with David Culley there in 2021. That's when they traded him or they cut him, and then he signed for the rest of the season with Tennessee. Culley is who I was thinking of. So he goes to Tennessee. He finishes the year last year there, plays in 6 games a year ago after he was out, and then they cut him, and now he's a free agent. So I just can't believe that a guy who 2 years ago had 164 tackles, 3 years ago, in 2020, the COVID year, and then in 2021 plays for 2 different teams and still has 93 tackles, is just his career's over at 27 years old. If anything, what I would say is you have an opportunity to bring a young veteran who's an incredibly talented player into a place with good culture, which did not exist in Houston. Like, Houston has been a total dumpster fire since that kid was drafted. Okay? They hired David Culley just to fire him, and then hired Lovie Smith just to fire him. Like, they're a disaster in Houston. And you have a guy that's a young veteran, so a really talented player at a position of need that you can get affordably because he's sitting on the street right now. And because he only played in 6 games last year, he's probably at a point where he's healthy. He's still not 30 years old. And you can give him an opportunity at a resurgence. The Saints need another linebacker. You can't go into this season with Demario Davis, Pete Werner, who has not shown he could play a full season, and then Zach Bond, Nephi Sewell, Andrew Dowell. Like, you can't. You have to give me somebody else who is an NFL veteran who's proven he can do it. And I think Zach Cunningham's the guy. If they haven't made that call yet, they need to. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.